Welcome to the Circle Grace One. I'm your host, Chief Principal Teacher and Founder, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. It also gave birth to his very own spiritual and metaphysical institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance on February the 7th, 2009. And the Circle of Grace One started on July the 2nd, 1999 AD. And they both fall under the aegis and the anointing of the Angel of Grace through divine providence. Of course, I am the founder of both and Bishop and Chief Principal Teacher and the host, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Well, as we begin to get into tonight's program, I want to offer up, and I say that kindly and politely, I want to offer up a brief prayer to open up this program, which we always do, and then we're going to get started with tonight's program through divine power and by divine grace. For all of you who get an opportunity to tune into this program, may you be able to be blessed by it in more ways than one. May it resonates with you on some level where you feel a sense of gratitude, you get a sense of the blessings of divine grace, awareness, and remembrance in your life. May what I say tonight also come as a seed of divine grace into your life, and as a seed of divine grace in your life, and a seed of awareness and a seed of remembrance. May you feel blessed, whole, and complete. May you be able to take any of the teachings that you hear here for free, that are done exactly free right here for the Circle of Grace One channel. May you be able to use it and prosper abundantly in your life. Whether that gives you an idea for a financial increase in your life, or it gives you an idea to be in a sense of greater health in your life, greater awareness in your life. May it make your relationships in your life more fruitful for you and for your loved ones, for your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, and even people you do not know. May what I say here this evening create in your life a more abundant flow of energy. Amen. And so shall it be. Well, I want to also say as an update, back in on March the 18th, which was a Tuesday night, March the 18th, Tuesday, 2014, I gave a popular teleseminar called Decree and It Shall Be. And I will repeat that again at another time a little later on this year, probably in the summertime or the early part of the fall. But I'm going to have another interesting teleseminar. I'm not going to give out the title right now. Holy Spirit is gathering this information into my being. And so I don't want to release the title right now, but I will keep you updated when I will be back with another exciting teleseminar that you will feel greatly uplifted through it, through the teachings of it. Now, also, I have some other things that are developing. I'm still working on some internet radio prospects so that you could kind of get that. And as I say, I like to do what's called random broadcasting. So, which means Spirit might lead me to get up in the middle of the night and literally broadcast. And so you'll be able to receive those teachings in different ways around the clock. We try to start here at 5 o'clock. The weather is nice outside, so I'm all over the place. We usually try to, me through the Angel of Grace, work and try to come on at 5 every Monday in the evening, early evening. We're on now a little after 6:30. We try to work with a lot of different energies that are flowing. And sometimes, I must say my personal ego gets in the way. I have a specific program that I want to teach, but as closer I get to 5 o'clock, Spirit shifts that and says, no, we're going to do something else. And so it's one of those nights. Spirit wins, okay? Hands down. In the mental arm wrestling department, Spirit wins. Well, what I want to talk about this evening, and this is not going to be a long program, it's actually going to be a short program. And it's the true title of the program is called Create Inner Strength Now. And this was a part of a prepaid online seminar that I did way back in October of 2009 for my institute called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And I'm going to do it right here tonight, bring out most of the highlights of this anyway. And when you look it up here in the title later on in the library here for Circle of Grace 1 channel, and also later at my YouTube channel, Circle of Grace 1, it may be titled a little shorter. So it may actually read as Inner Strength, Circle of Grace 1 underscore Inner Strength, and then today's date, which is 5/05/2014. And look at those double fives there, the fifth month and the fifth day. Is like the master number 55, which is giving us the power of communication and also giving us the power of fruitfulness and expansion at the same time. Okay, and I did that by just simply adding the fives together. You got a 10. So that gave us an opportunity to look at fruitfulness and expansion, taking our natural abilities and move them into a sense of what's important, what is the most important in terms of priorities in our lives, and then developing into a higher skill and then presenting it to the world. And we're seeing how we can take this information and increase it so that you become your own personal leader. Okay, everybody needs to realize that they have the power and authority inside of themselves to prosper in different ways. And so the Circle of Grace 1, as a spiritual and metaphysical ministry, along with the Institute online called the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance, is specifically designed for that, to help you become a leader in your life, to help you become a mentor or a life coach, not only for yourself, but for family members, other people in your life. In other words, you want to move mountains out of your life. And we all have mountains in our lives that have to be moved and shall be moved, and are moved according to our well-being, our our strength of who we are, our true value of ourselves, and how powerful that value that we have system going on for ourselves. You know, sometimes you don't need to seek recommendations from others. You don't need to seek someone else's approval as to who you are or where you're going in your life. And then on other occasions, it is necessary and it is important to surround yourself with people who think positive. Surround yourself with people who are doing things that are uplifting, whether it's in their community, whether it's in their house, whether it's for their town, their city, their state. It's important to put positive people around you, and this is important. Why? It helps you generate more strength for yourself. It helps you generate more prosperity and abundance for yourself. It helps you generate a higher increase in terms of wisdom, higher wisdom, and greater understanding in your own life. And when you have more positive people around you, do you know that uplifts your vibration? And at the same time, of course, they are around you, you are equally giving something out to them. So you want to realize that you have a value, you have an infinite degree of importance, and you're going to realize that you were born to do something better, not something that's mediocre. Okay, you're not just here to just be just moving along real slow. Yeah, there are going to be some times where you're not going to feel totally up to it. There's going to be some times where you're going to feel like I just want to stay in bed a little while longer. I don't feel like getting up and getting out and about. Everybody goes through that. But everybody has to find their way, have to learn how to connect with the higher forces of divinity and begin to flow. It's not only just your prayers, it's not only just your affirmations and your affirmative prayers, it is not just your decrees, it's not just your meditations, it's your words. And your words and your emotions and your intentions and your feelings and your sense levels of sensitivity are based on the energy that's in life itself. So, as we look at this, the energy behind your words can create great feelings and frequency that is less than great. Now, that's kind of channels as less than great can create that. We often have not been aware just how the energy behind the word is connected to our past experiences that netted certain results in our immediate and extended surroundings. Now that's very important for us to get a greater understanding, because many of the things that we're striving to do or move out of is based on past experiences. Now sometimes people say, Brother Francis, can you tell me something about a past life I had? Well, I can tune into your past life. Sometimes I can see a whole bunch of your past lives or parts of scenes within your past life. Scenes meaning experiences. But do you know that in this lifetime you have netted, like a fisherman, have caught certain experiences, and some of those experiences weigh you down and keep you in the past, and some of those experiences have become stepping stones for you to step up out of your past and step into your present and start thinking about what you want to draw into your life, where you want to be. So we have to realize our words get us there. Our words are essential to our growth, the understanding of the power of our words. That means understanding the energy behind the words. Sometimes, if you have people around you who are thinking negative all the time, who are depressed all the time, depressed means anger turned within. If you have people who are doing nothing but negative things for themselves and with other people, and you are in touch with them, eventually that energy is going to be like a flood. It's going to come over your gates and be in your presence. And the next thing you know, you're thinking like them, feeling like them, acting like them. So you have to find a way to break through those barriers and free yourself. But you have to free yourself from the negative experiences. You don't have to free yourself from the positive, because the positive helps you, helps motivate you. Sometimes the negative experiences can be used to motivate you also, because it'll bring up doubt, illusions, and fears, and you don't want to go backwards. So you can look at those things. But that's the past. You want to move forward. So you want to realize there's a lot of energy behind your words. Well, in this program, we're going to pinpoint the meaning of your words, some of the basic words that we hear all the time and that we find ourselves caught up in using all the time. And once we understand what those words do, how they bind us, you'll be able to release their grip that they have on your consciousness. So let's start with 5 basic words that we hear all the time. And I've used them myself. I've caught myself using them and have to tell myself mentally, cancel. Cancel with emotional feeling. Cancel it out. That's try. 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 Another word is believe. Believe. Believe, or like belief. Then there's the word need. Need. Then there's a contraction word, which is can't, CANT, which is short for cannot. And then there's this word called wish. Now, when you think of it, you could also have certain phrases such as, I have always done that, or I've always done this. I believe I can do that, or this, or it. And this, that, and it. Those are identification words for, let's say, I believe I can run faster. I believe I can eat better. I believe that I could talk better. I believe that I could play a musical instrument a lot better now than I did before. I believe. Well, sometimes belief brings on a shadow of doubt. You can say, I will try. I can try. I am trying it out. I'm trying to do better. I tried that already. Well, if you look at that sound, the energy behind that, I tried that already. Look at the emotional energy that goes into it. It's like you're convincing yourself, well, if I did it and it didn't work before, how do I know it's going to work out now? So we have to, again, pay attention to the words, and then pay attention to the energy that gets attached to the words. See, the energy, the emotional energy, the feeling that we get on the words, on the phrases. What happens is our emotions are very magnetic, so as much as you are putting it out there, it's coming back on you. And at the same time, any words that you use, any phrases that you use, you are actually planting a seed for your immediate future. So we have to be a guardian over our minds, our thoughts and ideas. We have to be a guardian over our feelings. We have to be a guardian over our intentions, over our will. Okay? We have to be a guardian that holds the doubt in place and allows us to what? Take the air out of it. Don't let it build up. To deplete it, to erase and delete the doubt out of our consciousness. Here's another phrase. I need to do this. I need to do something in order to change my life. I need. Well, I'm going to tell you what those words mean in a second. Here's another. I don't know where to go or where to be. I don't know. I don't. I do not know. I do, but I don't. That's what you're saying. I do not know. I do, but I don't know. I do not know what to do. I don't know what to do. And again, I need it. I need it now. I need this now. I need help. I'm needy, see, about help. So all of these words and phrases, sentences are built up on two elements, a feeling and a seeing. Now, the sense in which I'm using the word seeing, S-E-E-I-N-G, is an image, a picture. That picture comes to your mind through your memory and may have or may not have any feelings attached to it. For example, like, the word like versus love. Now just think about it. The word like versus love. What do you like? What do you love? Already there's a sense of comparison there, right? You like something one moment and you love something the next. And usually when you say you love something, you're beyond being passionate about it, right? Excuse me. You're beyond being passionate, being excited when you say that you love something. But when you say, well, I like that, I really like that, you have a certain degree of passion. You have a certain degree of energy, but sooner or later that energy can come to a halt. Right? That energy could, as we say, dwindle down, die down a little bit. So what you feel and see yourself as what you see or feel will often steer you directly into a hurdle on your journey, on your destiny, your path in life, if the energy you give it is not positive. So, if we look at the energy that you may give to something, and if it has a negative tinge to it, then it's like you're pulling it back, you're not letting it go. You know, that would be like a fisherman fly casting and getting ready to throw the line out with the little sinker thing at the end of it, plastic worm or real worm, throw it out, but then it catches on to the clothing or catches on to a bush behind him or something else. Can't let it go. It's got to be able to take that and cast it all the way out. And not just in his or her immediate surroundings. They have to cast it beyond that, where it can pick up within the current. Not where he or she is standing still, but further away. So there's a current, right? Because there's a sea of fish, a school of fish that person is trying to connect, trying to get the fish out of the water. Just like if you're holding a bow and an arrow set in your hand, and you're trying to hit a target, if you don't feel comfortable holding the bow, or may not know how to hold the bow and place the arrow and pull it, If you don't have that, if you haven't let go of the doubt, you're not going to be able to shoot the bow and arrow. You're not going to be able to release the arrow. You're not going to be able to pull it back and release it. The bow is already set with the proper tension, but you're not going to be able to pull it back and let it go. You're not going to be able to maintain a sense of steadiness with your stance and your position of your body. So you have to pay attention to the energy that you are putting out there toward everything. So when we look at this, sense means direction. So we're talking about what you're sensing, what you're seeing, and what you're feeling. Another word of seeing, association, is what you understand. You can comprehend it. So, excuse me. So you want to make sure that you are understanding everything that you are looking at. You want to make sure that you comprehend the essence of it. So sense means direction. If a word or phrase does not make sense to you, then you have no true direction or understanding of your direction, the path in which you're walking upon. You're trying to comprehend something. That's like many of us who know younger people who could be around you, and they come back with that new math. When you were growing up, you had new math too, and now they have a whole new look at new math, and you're looking at it like, wow, where's this coming from? Are they going to be able to use this math? Is this something they can use every day, or is this the kind of math they're going to use for engineering and architect work? Or are they going to use this for plumbing and carpentry kind of work? Is this the kind of math they can use to measure off miles, and, or be in a hospital and measure off the right dosage? You know, what is all this stuff for? I mean, half the time you're behind the wheel of a car. You're not thinking the mathematical formula of how many hours and how much gallons of gas you need to get to your destination. If not with these high prices nowadays, you can't even think that. You more than likely will pick a place that's not too far away, so you don't eat up a lot of your gas. Well, again, the sense. This is a fact. See, sense means direction. You become confused, and your life can become chaotic in itself if you don't have a sense of direction. This now leads us directly into the flow, as it is now. What is the flow? It's called a frequency. A frequency is a wave of energy. I want to read it here. A frequency is a wave of energy, a current of energy, much like a stream, where every element is constantly repeating itself, and much more like generating and regenerating something as in the energy field that is exact and perfect enough. That's what a frequency actually is. Now, you can go to Webster's Dictionary and look it up there too, but this is from actual experience. Building up a wave of energy. Think of it. When you're meditating, you're tuning into a flow of energy, a current of energy. If you're doing martial arts, you are generating energy, your own personal energy. And then you can get to a point where you can feel the energy of everyone else around you. If you've ever experienced, I remember experiencing some classes 20 years ago where one of the grandmasters in Tai Chi had everybody doing push hands in a big hall on the 6th floor of a building in downtown Manhattan. And to make everybody relax, there was something like 50 men and women in the class. But what did the grandmaster do? Shut the lights out. When he shut the lights out, now everybody had to feel. And when he shut the lights out, you really couldn't see the person in front of you. It was pitch black in there. You really couldn't see. But then as your iris dilates, you just begin to make out people around you. But everybody is like a silhouette. Everybody. You can just make out your hands, your arms. You can just make out the person who's anywhere from 5, 6 feet in front of you to 1 foot in front of you. But you had to listen. You had to employ your feeling, your sensitivity. And then when you did that, you could sense, hey, I know that John is standing behind me. They were about 3 or 4 or 5 feet away with their partner, and I could feel them. I could hear them better now. And Charles, who's in front of me, and he's my partner, he's a lot closer. I don't hear him breathing, but I'm beginning to sense and feel him, and so forth. And this goes on and on and on. Well, everything you do and say is an expression of energy. Even your thoughts are an expression of energy. There's an inward and an outward flow that's going on. It's a dance called frequency, like the sine wave. Your thoughts are going out. There's energy going out in your auric field all the way around you. Electrical impulses inside your body are doing the same. So there's an energy level that's building up. There's a frequency, and you have to tune into your own frequency. Then you got to feel the frequency of a room and the people that are in it, and the objects uh, that are there that could be absorbing the energy or deflecting the energy. Well, here comes the word try. The word try is making an attempt that you know in advance through sensing. When you say, I'm going to try this out, you are employing a level of sensitivity, you see, that you are about to do or will not do or may not necessarily do it because you sensed right away that you don't feel that it'll work for you. That's like saying, out here, I'll use myself as an example. Now, I've been here, I'm sweating a little bit. I've been here for 3 years now in the state of New Mexico. And what got me here was when I came and saw hot air balloons. And then I'd go online and I'd start looking for it. Then I would create digital pictures, using certain software and create colorful drawings. And I use that to motivate myself. I want to see a hot air balloon. Well, when I lived in Jersey, I saw hot air balloons, but not like you see them here. When the weather is just right, you see them all over the city and the suburb area of Albuquerque. You see it all over the place. So, as I was tuning into that, I kept saying to myself, well, maybe one day I'll try, get on and have a hot air balloon ride. I want to really do one. Well, I've been here 3 years. I haven't done one since. But I say that because I was using the word try. Even though I've been into the hot air balloon museum that's here. Got in a simulated basket. Did a little computer program where you can like see yourself control the program and fly it. Fly the balloon in the basket like a computer game. But it's interesting. The thought of it. To see one land. To see how they blow the balloon up. I've been that close. I mean, literally so close. I felt like I was being a crispy fried potato chip because of the heat coming off of the burner going up, and I'm standing to the back end of the basket that's on its side, but I could still feel the heat. This was last October down on the field where all the balloons were getting lit up for what they call a glotio that night. Well, again, you're trying to do something or anything. You already feel that it's not correct for you. See, that's the importance of the word try. When you're thinking about I'm trying to do something, excuse me, when I'm trying to do something, you're thinking that, you could feel the energy that goes along with it. That's why you may not have tried it. This is why I may not have tried to get in, take a hot air balloon ride yet. Because I'm kind of feeling the energy. Now, I'm not feeling anything negative about it. I'm just maybe feeling something about myself in relationship to that. So there's something that I discovered about myself. So when we look at this, you are already in the motion, in the area, in the zone of feeling. So you want to know if you're feeling if it's right for you or not. This means you've opened a door to the sense of error in your mind. and expect an error to occur. And if you felt bad about it or was made to feel bad about it, maybe making a mistake, maybe thinking the wrong thought, then what happens, you set up the sense of defeat in yourself. This is why you don't want to use the word try. It sets up a sense of being defeated in advance. Try means you want to test something out, but you have no faith at all in what you are about to do or say. This is why you don't want to use the word try. Try creates a setback. But here's the meaning behind the word need. Need brings up the feeling in the image of pleading and begging. You don't want to plead. You don't want to feel like you're begging for an opportunity. You hear people say that, I'm just begging for it. Well, what is where in your mind? It means like you're on your knees, both of your knees, pining away. Pining meaning to fret. Need or neediness means that you have a sense of low self-esteem. You're not thinking highly of yourself. You're not thinking that you've got a sense of value, a sense of self-worth. You think you don't deserve anything good, and nothing good can come to you, or nothing good can serve you. So now your magnetic nature that you have, your emotional side, your magnetic nature is pulled downward. When this happens, the electronic field, the other part of your auric field, which is magnetic, biomagnetic, and bioelectric, by nature now, it starts to leak like a pipe. There's an opening in you created a gap. That's what happens. See, when you try, you say, I'm going to try it, doesn't mean that you're not giving it the full sense of faith to yourself that you'll be all right. So then you fall into the category of needing to do it. And when you need to do something, the emotional energy gets pulled down, and now you start creating a web, a gap, a hole in your auric field. And now you leak, because now all you're doing is begging. You left the state of trying, and now you're in the state of begging. So, even with these two words, they've become deeply embedded in from your unconscious, and now is settled in your subconscious. And now your subconscious doesn't really know the difference between a positive or negative. Whichever is the heaviest, which is the most accumulated, that's the energy that is going to kick back out to you. So your sense of doubt, your sense of just trying and just being needy are like weeds that are beginning to get root. Weeds that are rooting up in your garden, which is your subconscious. Here's another word, wish. Wish. I wish I could do that. W-I-S-H. Well, the word wish has been used in the occult circles for thousands of years and is linked with the word hope. And yet both words are too close to the word try or even need. I wish I could do that. You feel exasperated, out of breath. Man, I wish I could have been there. I wish, you hope to be at some place of importance, some place where you could have some fun, but you didn't get there. So now you're wishing. You're wishing that something happened so you can get there. It was almost like you're playing on the word luck instead of on divine law, on human man-made luck. I'm going to luck out and get there, which means you're going to try to get there, which means you feel like you got to beg your way to get there. So you created half-hearted attempts to move forward, a lack of conviction to move forward. You depleted your own energy, you see. And what usually happens when you start wishing too much, you fall into stagnation and procrastination. So you procrastinate, which means what? You're holding yourself back. You're not reaching out all the way. You're not letting yourself go to an event. You just wish that you could get there, but you're not doing anything to attract energy or assistance or help so that you can get there. So now you keep putting it off, and eventually you become stagnated. You come to a halt. So here's another set of words. The word is can't. C-A-N apostrophe T, which is short for cannot. And this is a word that's in line with won't, which is will not. Will is a testament that an event has indeed occurred and you are distinctly aware of it. That's what a will is. But you say, I will not, it's like the future. I don't think I will do that. Huh? You're testifying upon yourself that it's not possible. That's what you're doing. The words, and this is when you do that, you're thinking that you know you're fully aware of the opportunity, but you talk yourself out. I can't do it. I won't do it. I will not do it. So you've cut yourself off through the use of can't and I won't. So that means we do not expect anything to happen that is good or of God, or I've used good to represent greatness, okay, or geometrically omniscient, omnipotent, and divine. That's what I kind of look at good. What's good for you? That means that you're pulling from all of the cosmos and all within a divine plan on earth. But you're saying that you can't do it, you won't do it, so now what? You feel disconnected. So we either sense it is coming to us or not coming to us when you use can't and won't. Pay attention to. We are sentient beings. We have this ability to sense, to know a direction that something is coming to or from. But we have to pay more attention to it. Pay more attention. This is essential. When you start paying attention to things around you, what are you pulling in towards yourself? Again, that's the magnetism. What are you sending out? That's the electricity. We sense, as we already know, which means we are intuitive beings. Intuitive. As intuitive sentient beings, we are aware then there are no such things as accidents. So you're not going to luck out on something. It either is or isn't. You either build up the frequency or you haven't. Accidents do not exist. Only acceptance and agreements. So if you're out visiting some friends and you agreed to stay out a little longer, and you created that energy to accept to stay out, and you've agreed to it, even if you're tired, you didn't work something out so where you can stay over, huh? Or where you can go sleep in your car, huh? Now you're gonna go out and drive while you're what? As we call bone tired, really tired. So now your reactionary times are off. Your coordination. And you may draw to yourself people who aren't driving in a positive manner. You might draw yourself into an environment where people are driving underneath the influence of a drug or alcohol. And this is something you don't want to do, yet you're in the element. So now, what appears to be an accident really isn't. You just were on a lower frequency. You got caught up in a lower frequency with like minds going in a certain direction now. Now, once you come into an awareness and an understanding and an understanding and have an acceptance about this, you realize that the thought creates the event, and it either feels right or doesn't feel right. That's important. Again, it has to feel right or not feel right. When something feels right to you, which means that the state of remembrance has been triggered, awakened, reawakened, uncovered, discovered, recovered inside of you. When you feel you're on point, all of that is going on. You're making some type of connection. It's inside of you. It's inside what is called the mind of you. Your mind is your total being in that sense of the mental part, being totally aware. Now, once this state of remembrance is opened up to you or to us, there's a transference of energy. That's right, energy being transferred. It's simple like passing a baton. that occurs. And more happens like a domino effect. I mean, like things coming together, speed of light, speed of energy coming together, everybody moving in the same direction. Now it's like a domino. One hits the next, and hits the next, and hits the next. And wherever you are, if you're at the beginning, you're better. If you're at the end, you're not so good. And if you're in the middle, you're not so good. Have you seen like chain reaction accidents on a highway? Somebody can't stop, they hit somebody in the back. The person in the front can't get out of the way. They slam into whoever's in front of them. Now, the people who are way down the front start to see this reaction. Now they're trying to get out the way. Then there's people behind the person who somehow started that, and they're trying to avoid what's coming up in front of them. Where the people way down front are trying to speed faster, get out of the way, get off the highway, do something. The people in the middle, they're kind of stuck. They got to go with the flow and hope they can go around whoever's in front of them to get out of the way of what's going on behind them. It's a transference of energy. But a more infinite flow of events takes place, moving us toward a sense of self-realization. How did you get that out of that, brother? Well, you realize you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you're in the right place at the right time. That's what we mean here. You are either in the right place or the wrong place. You are in the right place. The word belief or believe means we have doubts about what is true. The ascended master Sananda, back in his time, the ancient prophet Jesus, said long ago while a young prophet in the making in his many travels, belief is not to know. You know, like in a courtroom, they call it, or police department call it, that's hearsay. Were you really there? Did you really hear? Or are you going by, are you going by what was told? What someone told you? Were you actually there, or going by what is told you? Or can you remember the events that led up to the incident and the events that took place and who was there? Can you really give the detailed information? And if you can't, it just might be looked at as hearsay. Hearsay, what was said here. But is it true? Were you a witness to it? Were you a part of it? Can you remember it? Well, remember that words and phrases carry or house energy, like framing the energy. An energy carries and houses divine intelligence. All forms of energy, particles of light, have divine intelligence, divine thoughts. So what I call DNNA or DNA is divine nature in action, or DNAA, divine nature activated and in action. These are like nutrients from the cosmos. When we intuit, we are remembering senses and feelings. I mean directions. A sense of direction and a feeling. You got a feeling. Not the emotional lovey-dovey, but you got a feeling. You got an urge. You got a gut feeling. A gut reaction. A gut action. If a word or phrase or sentence does not feel right to us, then we should not be using it. That's like we tell children, don't get caught up in cussing or cursing. Why? Because it'll be a reflection on the parent or the elder, but a reflection on them, their upbringing at the same time. This is one of the master spiritual reasons for daily meditation along with prayer, to kind of pull yourself together, to remind us to become more mindful, more aware of everything seen and unseen, as well as subtle, sublime, and direct. Subtle, sublime, and direct. Do you know vowels are the soul essences in words, which keep us open and attuned to frequencies connected to the four elements and the four states of mind? The letter A is likened to an ether, the ether, spirit, and all the other elements. The letter E is air, the mental part, the thinking, the logic and reasoning. The letter I is fire. It's an intuitive nature. It's the spirit force itself. The letter O is water, the emotional energy side of us. The letter U is an earthen energy. Think of it like a vessel or a chalice, a cup, a bowl. The letter U. That means it's capturing. It can contain energy. The letter O can contain energy. The letter A can bring energies together to a point. You can walk back and forth between the two. The letter E is like a ladder all unto itself, leaving you an opening in which you can receive and send out. Huh? The letter I, you can go up and down like your spine, like a ladder, like an antenna. So think of all of these things. These are just looking at things symbolically. Well, there's two things that I want to give you as an example so that you can pay attention to phrasing. Just go out, go to a cafe, go, go to a place where people are there, people are talking, and listen and see if you can feel the energy that's coming off of their words. See if you can feel. Now, what I want you to do, you're protected at all times, but you might want to use an energy color field around you that will make it so that you're not absorbing any of the negativity from what you're going to hear. So I want you to envision a call up white light with a golden fleck. So what you want to do is you want to increase your light around yourself. Then you want to sit in an environment